Hey everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going into a video idea I've been wanting to bring to you guys for a while now, which is how you can play the N-Zap in Splatoon 3. This weapon is a shooter class weapon, and I've seen some people have some trouble using it, as well as some people wanting to get a better idea of how to play it, and seeing how you guys reacted to my tri-stringer guide. I wanted to do one of these for you since I'm familiar with the weapons. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so the N-Zap is a shooter class weapon, as you can see right here. It's going to have a shorter range, which I'll show to you very shortly, but its kit is going to be suction bombs, and it has the Tacticooler as its special, so I'll explain both of those a little bit later as well. We just want to cover the base stats here. As you can see, the range, it's pretty decent for a shooter. When you're going to compare it to something like the Glugas or the 52, or the 96, or any, the Pro, any midline weapon, it doesn't do that. So it's got close range, closer to something like, a base shooter like the Aerospray, which it outranges, and a few other shooter class weapons. But yeah, it's got a little decent range, as you can see. It's got some decent fire rate, shoots pretty fast. Again, there's no numerical value unless you probably look at the raw stats, but we can see it fires pretty fast. And as for points for getting to its special, which again is the Tacticooler, it's going to be 200p, which is on the more expensive side of specials, but by no means is it unique in that form. There are a ton of weapons that have 200p specials. So yeah, those are the hard stats of the weapon. Now, if we go into the training range here and we just shoot around, we can look and see how much damage it's going to be doing. It's going to be doing 28 per pellet. So there you go, 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be a 4-shot kill, as you can see right there. So that's always good to know. Just in engagements, you can hear the shots, so you can hear, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, and that kills. Or you can hear 1, 2, 3, oh, wait, okay, I need a little bit more, and I pulled back. I needed 1, 2 more, actually. So yeah, it's 4-shot kill, 28 per pellet, so keep that in mind when you're making any engagements with the weapon. As for its ability to paint and cover ink, it's very good at that as well. N-Zap is probably second to Aerospray and Junior in that regard, or I guess it'd be third to Aerospray and Junior in that regard, where it can paint really well out of all the weapons. It's really good at it, as you can see. It's just painting it right up and getting your special pretty quickly. So that's one of the benefits of the weapon. Now, if we go into the kit that it has, right? We want to talk about the suction bomb and the Tacticooler. Suction bomb's great. As you can see, you throw it, you wait for a little bit, and it explodes. As most of you probably know, but for those of you who don't know, that's how suction bomb works. The special part of it that makes it different from something like splat bomb or auto bomb is that you can throw it onto walls and other hard surfaces. You can even throw it underneath, like platforms like that, and it'll still explode and still do damage. As you can see, as long as the platform is, it has a grate or it's just shootable, as you can shoot through it, then it'll still deal damage to that grate. So yeah, the suction bomb's pretty great. You can use it for a lot of different mechanics. If you're on tower control, you can kind of, shoot your way onto the tower, throw the suction bomb, get off the tower, try to kill somebody, and then hop back on, as you can see here. And yeah, that's pretty much the suction bomb. For the Tacticooler, basically, you proc it like anything else. You press in the right stick, and then you can throw it. It doesn't go very far, but you can throw it. And the Tacticooler is going to do a few things, and so this part is probably one of the most important parts to how you should play the weapon. Tacticooler is a special that is going to give you and your teammates buffs. There are 4 cans, so each of you can take 1. That is a limit. So if you, for example, take a drink and then die with said drink, and then come back, if you get back to the Tacticooler before it's broken, you can't take another one. So only 1 teammate can take 1 per Tacticooler. But essentially, the effects it'll give you is increased movement speed in the form of run speed and swim speed. So you'll get increased swim speed, increased run speed, and you will also get the ability to not lose any special meter at all if you die with Tacticooler on you, right? You will lose absolutely 0 special meter, and you get a 1-second respawn timer, and you get increased quick super jump. So it's a lot of buffs to your teammates, and it's very good to use. The other good part about it here, what I'll do for you guys real quick is I will go to cleanup here, just so we can get a little bit more space. The other really good part about the Tacticooler is that it's a physical object, which makes it a little bit, more unique or different from a lot of the other specials in the game, like the, like the Wave Breaker or whatever it's called. This thing's a physical object, meaning it doesn't break. So I'm obviously not an enemy, but if I were to shoot this, it wouldn't break. And along with that, as you can see, if I try to ram my way into it, it'll stop me. Oh, okay, well, it's not stopping me here, but usually it will stop you, right? There you go, yeah. You can see it's kind of... In squid form, it doesn't, but in inkling form, it does. It's a physical object. You can't move through it. You can't walk through it, all that stuff. But as you can see, I have increased swim speed. And actually, if I paint up here and I turn the robot on real quick... So I lost the buff there. But what we can do really quickly, just to show you guys how it works, is I can paint up, get the Tacticooler, get it all nice and ready. Paint up, paint up, paint up. Get the Tacticooler, throw it. Get the buff, and then you guys will see that the Tacticooler will run out. And if we just turn this on real quick, if I paint this, as you can see, I have about a quarter, and then I die, you'll see me respawn, right? And I still have my special. Still have all of the special progress that I built up, which is amazing. That is such a good part of the kit. So remember to use this in aggressive forms, or when you're going forward. Or even if you want to be in a little bit more of a defensive position with your teammates and you realize you guys need a little bit of cover and you could use a little bit of buffs, you could just throw it in a choke point spot, which might make it harder for your teammates to get it, but will also impede the enemy team from moving forward in certain situations like Rainmaker or Clan Blitz, which could be really helpful. It is worth noting, this is something I've realized, that with Tacticooler, if you place it down in front of something like the tower and tower control, it will just run over your Tacticooler and it will disappear. Just on the spot, and you will not get refunded for any of your specials. So don't place it in front of the tower. I've learned that the hard way. But yeah, with that being said, let's move on to the more playstyle-centric part of the video. Alright guys, so when it comes to actually playing with the N-Zap, you guys might want to know, okay, you've told us the stats, you've told us what you can actually use with the kit, but how do I actually play this thing? How do I use it to its best advantage, right? It's very good at tracking. You can pretty much, as you can see with the moving targets, you can move pretty quickly with it. It's going to give you a little bit of a speed and movement boost normally, if I'm not mistaken. You might want to double check me on that. But certain weapons in this game, like for example the Junior, Spider Shot Junior, are going to give you speed boosts because they're considered light weapons. I think the N-Zap is also considered a light weapon, but I'm not sure. It might be normal, in which case it gives you no boost. But it's one of the two. I'm pretty sure it does give you some speed boost just for using the weapon. But the main part of it that's really nice is that it's flexible and it's movable, right? You can sort of use it anywhere you want. When I say movable, I mean you can kind of move in any way you want. It's got really good mobility, right? So you're not kind of stuck like with the blaster where you have to like shoot and then you're stuck in lag, and then you can do stuff. You can shoot, you can move around, you can do whatever you want, right, while you're doing this. You can just move around, you can go up platforms, you can, you know, shoot and then do a squid surge, you can substrafe with it, all that stuff. So the core part of this weapons mechanics are going to be you playing aggressive, and this is the main part of the video that I wanted to get into, meat and potatoes of it. A lot of people I see, they play this weapon and they play back. They literally just paint and that's it. And a lot of people did this in Splatoon 2 too. So don't worry if you're new and learning, but this is what a lot of people do. They'll stay back, they'll paint, they'll throw bombs, and they'll only pop their special. And then once they've done that, they'll go back to painting, getting the special back up. But they have specifically given you a Tacticooler to give you an advantage when moving in and playing in an aggressive form. And this is what you kind of want to take advantage of with the weapon. You want to play as up close and personal with this thing as possible because it's extremely accurate, as you can see. These bullets have almost no spread, or these pellets, whatever you want to call them, have no spread, so they're going to hit exactly where you want to go for the most part, which is why the tracking is really nice with them, right? And it has, like I said, a lot of mobility. So you're going to be able to go in and out of the ink, move around, shoot your targets, go up, down, shoot, 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 kill people very quickly as long as you're accurate with moving your reticle. So, in that regard, you want to play this weapon as aggressive as you possibly can. You should play it like a Slayer or anything else. And if your movement is good enough, you should really be playing it, you know, as up close as you would with a dually, right? If with splat dualies, you'd be rolling up to somebody and being this close to them, right up in their face, then that's what you should be doing with the N-Zap. Because that's something that I see, like I said, people make a lot of mistakes with, and it really isn't something you should be doing if you want to get better at the weapon. You want to play aggressive with it. Tacticooler is going to give you that speed bonus. It gives you a 1-second respawn timer, so even if you die, you're going to come back extremely quickly and going to be able to jump back into the action really quick with that squid super jump speed bonus. And so there's just no reason for you to play this weapon passively. So make sure that when you're playing it, you get comfortable. You know, try starting out in regular battle or just play in like the anarchy battles, but play in open so you don't lose as many points. And just test it out, have fun with it, but play aggressive and don't be, you know, scared to die or to lose games, because that's how you're going to get better. But yeah, with that being said, that's the play style of how you should play the weapon. I'm just going to go into the last segment of the video, which is loadouts, because I saw you guys ask about that in my tri-stringer video, so I want to add some loadout tips for this video so you guys don't have to be wondering what you should be using. But yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to ask them down in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have. But yeah, on to the next segment. Alrighty, so loadout-wise, you want to make a good build for the N-Zap, and you're wondering what gear should you use. Well, this is what I would use if I were you. I don't have a lot of my gear set yet, but I can show you guys the abilities in this page right here, and I can tell you what they do, and I can also show you some gear pieces. So this is what I would recommend. Comeback is a really good ability that I like a lot, especially on this weapon. As you can see, it says boost some of your abilities for a short time after respawning. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to boost your ink recovery, your ink saver main, so like how much ink you save on your main weapon, your ink saver sub, so how much ink you save on your sub weapon. It's also going to increase, I think, your special charge up as well. And it'll also do a few more stats, and I'll leave a link in the wiki to what Comeback does. I'll leave a link to like what all the abilities does, and then just all of the abilities in the game, so that you guys can go check out the wiki for yourself and see the exact stats. But Comeback is essentially just going to give you a decent amount of stats on all of your movement abilities and some of your special abilities as well when you come back into the fight. And so that's why it's really good, because it's going to get you back with some extra ink, and it's going to get you back with some more special charge, which is exactly what you want to just pop more Tacticoolers. The reason why this synergizes with N-Zap so well is because with N-Zap you got Tacticooler, and Tacticooler is just going to spawn you right back in after you die in 1 second. So Comeback is going to proc extremely quickly. So if you're constantly playing aggressive, you're going to be dying a little bit more until you get used to playing the weapon and not always dying. And even when you do get used to playing the weapon, you will still die a ton because you're playing up close and personal. That's just how it's going to be sometimes, even at the highest level of play. So Comeback is going to be great for that. Something else that I'd highly recommend is some movement speed abilities. So running, for example, a main in this main slot here. So just for reference, the big ones are called main abilities, and your 3 ones in the bottom there are called sub abilities. You might want to run a main of run speed up, because run speed is going to be really nice for keeping you moving quickly while you're shooting like this, right? It's going to help you move a little bit quicker in that regard. And for that same reason, you're also going to want swim speed, because it's going to help you with your movement. So when you're getting close to people, the faster you can swim, the faster you can run, the more likely you're going to be able to disorient them, and the better chance you'll have at actually killing them and staying alive after you do it, and making use of that Tacticooler buff. So those are both abilities that I recommend, is run speed up and swim speed up. I also think that you should probably consider running some special charge up. Special charge up can be really helpful. As you can see here, it's just going to make you charge your special faster. Now, the reason it says it increases special gauge fill rate, it does this, and it also reduces the amount of points you need to read your special, which this doesn't show you. And in my loadout video, I'll cover how all of this goes. But essentially, you can see it's 200. The more special charge up you have, the more it'll reduce how many points for your special you need as well. So in short words, it just makes you get your special back faster. So I would highly recommend that. After those abilities, it's really up to you. If you find that you're dying a lot or something's going on and you're saying, oh, okay, I'm getting into these aggressive situations, but I'm having a hard time surviving, you could consider running something like bomb defense or sub resistance up. It's bomb defense in Splatoon 2, but sub resistance up, which could reduce the damage you take from certain bombs, as well as ink resistance up, which is going to reduce the damage you take by being in enemy ink. And if you combine both of these abilities, in my opinion, the ratio of 1 ink resistance up, 1 sub of ink resistance up, and 2 subs of sub resistance up, will give you a decent defensive booster to your stats, and it'll make you a little bit harder to kill, so you might survive a little bit more. After that, you can run whatever you want. Literally anything. You could run quick super jump to get back in the fight a little bit quicker, but you're going to get that from Tacticooler anyway, up to you. You could also run sub saver if you feel like you're, throwing your suction bombs, but they're costing you a little bit too much ink. You'd like a little bit more room to work with. Fair enough. You could run quick respawn, which will get you back in sooner, but I definitely wouldn't run this on my personal build because you're already going to be respawning in 1 second with Tacticooler, so why overload that, right? One thing I wouldn't recommend running is special power up. Again, I'll show how it works in my loadout video, but essentially, to just describe it for you guys really quick here, the more you put of something, the more diminishing returns it has. So the first sub or main of something you put on gives you a ton of bonuses from that stat. And after that, it gives you less and less bonuses from that stat. So if I put this on and it gave me like an extra second to my tactic cooler for the first sub. After that sub, it's going to only give me like half a second on my tactic cooler. And special power up only gives you, I think, about a second of extra time on tactic cooler, and you have to run a few subs of it to get it there. So I definitely wouldn't recommend running it. I don't think it's worth. You would essentially just be giving your teammate 1 extra second or you 1 extra second, but you really shouldn't have that second. You should be up close and personal and fighting them, and you'll probably end up dying during that duration anyway. So it's really not that beneficial, but I guess if you want to and you figure out a build for it, you could go for it. But yeah. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. I just wanted to cover how you could play the N-Zap, my thoughts on it. This might be a little bit of a longer video. I'm not sure how long it went, but yeah, I just thought it was worth being a little bit more comprehensive about it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was comprehensive enough. I'm still trying to work on these videos, and this video was not scripted. I'm considering starting to make my guide scripted, just so you guys can have shorter videos that are easier to understand. But yeah, I hope this was good enough for now. You guys can skip around. I'll put timestamps. Also, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because at 100 subs, I'm going to be doing a full loadout video, like I mentioned a few times in this video, where I'm going to go over how you can make your own loadouts, the best ways to do it, how to be efficient, and some services that you can use out there on the internet to make your life easier when it comes to building gear. So if you guys would like to see that video again, please consider subscribing. And to all of you who have supported me recently, again, I really appreciate it. I never thought I would be able to get this far in the YouTube scene, but you know, we're at 85 subscribers at the time of me recording this video, and a decent amount of views and likes on other videos. So again, I really appreciate it, guys. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. All right, bye bye, guys.